Kind of ominous with that one. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, gentlemen, for your thoughts.
Beat your ass in the green room, son.
Let's get into it, shall we, Mo?
I disagree about this, the conversation about the veto a little bit, because FaZe had to ban their best performing map right now in Mirage. Apogee are quite happy about the next 2 maps coming up. FaZe might need us to. I mean, there is overlap, though, as well, so I just wouldn't say Apogee are uncomfortable with this veto or that FaZe clearly won it. Nuke is their highest win rate map. I think they would have liked to play Mirage, but I think they could live without it. Again, this one it's got to come down to the pressure.
Well, here comes Prism. Lower tunnels dead first. And Prism in their opening games at this event was just playing lights out and statistically well beyond his norm.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
It was an overperformance out of the gate from him. It was enough to put Apogee on the map for a little bit, and, well, this is the kind of kill that's going to return them back with a chance here in the first pistol. Hypex 2 kills on long. It doesn't deter FaZe from following up on Cat until they have second thoughts here at the minute mark. Smoke to fade in middle, and that's going to be the defense spread thin.
One thing I'll also say about that is that it could be an overperformance, but we don't have a LAN sample size for Prism. It could be the case that he is their best player on LAN, and we'll find out, you know, who's going to fall off and who's going to get better in this environment. So, but for now, he's dead. And it's just down to 1. Rain with an excellent pistol round.
Yeah, you want to talk about players good on LAN? There's Rain. You know, today and these sorts of games, I'm looking at a guy like Rain to just dominate as he does. Doesn't always have to be there, but like surely when you look down this roster on FaZe, there's got to be a takeover player versus a, you know, top 50 ranked team in their first LAN outing. If FaZe don't win this game, there's got to be something that has to change after that, which is crazy to say that it's in the hands of Apogee to pull the guillotine on this FaZe roster, but...
Really? I mean, what would you put the odds at, then, if FaZe are the favorite? How much?
This game right now?
Yeah, like a percentage favorite.
85% that they win this.
An 85% favorite in this game?
Yeah.
Damn, that's... Okay, let's take a look at the odds and see what people think after...
What I've seen from Apogee is good. I like the play of it all, but I put it on the pressure, man. We're in Bucharest.
On the pressure, okay.
We're in Bucharest. This is playoffs on the line. I suppose, okay, maybe it's not a stage game, so maybe I am overvaluing like the pressure of that thing. But it's like this would be the biggest result ever because you get into playoffs now. You make top 8 at this event. You secure so much more money, so much more points. I don't know if Apogee have any tools across this entire roster to handle those sorts of things. Other than like...
Yeah, they're going to find out
other
like,
than,
all that about themselves today.
Yeah, other than Kerrigan's wife, who's like helping them psychologically to stay in control of this situation. But Rain and FaZe have been through these motions so many times. And if that's not enough to kind of kick you into gear, dude.
Unfortunately, they've also lost so many times.
Yeah, but I just...
I think if they were playing better, I'd feel better about it, but it just... Even in the interview with James before, I mean, there was no confidence from Kerrigan. He said, normally I'd be blunt with you and tell you, you know, we are coming to shoot for the trophy. But he can't say that right now because they're moving in the right direction, but moving extremely slowly.
I just can't stomach the idea that they'll lose this one for a top 8. You can make top 8 and then lose your next game, and then we'll just, you know, chalk it up to another bad FaZe day. But you're supposed to be the gatekeepers.
You're supposed to be the tournament threats, actually. You know.
Well, they've lost that glow for me.
Yeah. For everyone, I think.
I'm not willing to let go of this last line, you know. This... Come on, FaZe. Not that I have a vested interest in Apogee's failures. I like their opening games. It was awesome to see the way that they've dismantled
what happened
other
to you, man?
favorites.
We literally love Apogee.
I do, but I just can't stomach the thought of FaZe falling this far. Mind you, if they keep using these view models, maybe I will.
I mean, if Complexity can beat them.
Yeah, but Complexity have 3 of the top... 3 of their players in like the top 10
of the vitality of North America right now.
Yes, sir. It's all-time heights. Easy cleanup on the tunnels push. Nothing here for Apogee in the first 3 rounds. It's Rain out of the gate, very convincing. We had one of those moments earlier this week when Heavy God got like 3 kills with a Galil in round 2, and it just felt like he was going to take over for the rest of the day. And he did. That series was a standout for him in G2's run to the playoffs flawlessly.
Yeah, he's been playing well.
I feel like a 7-0 start on Rain is the same warning signs for Apogee.
The two players that, you know, it's not even Elige individually. It's Elige's maybe like in terms of the team play, that's the problem. But individually, it's Rain and Brokey. These are the two biggest issues for FaZe. I mean, some of that is also because of Elige and the role change-ups. That's only made it harder. The volatility of new CT positions. But all your CT problems are solved with enough T rounds.
Missed shot out of Hypex, not ideal. Op falls back. That's Elige to come knocking back the corner of the catwalk. 3 players to just inch their way over towards long doors instead. We get the double smokes out middle. Create a little bit of uncertainty with Kerrigan here behind it. Prism over the box. Has to wait out, and we'll see if anybody offers him contact. Doesn't look like it. Kerrigan just going to play for the late CT peek.
Okay, let's see if they'll be ready for this. This is something a little different here from Kerrigan.
Jacob and Huffa contact towards long. Each of them pick up their kill. Prism gets caught off by that Kerrigan smoke push, and then CTs just evacuate towards long.
Oh!
Double kill out of Kerrigan now with the Galil headshot, but the bomb's gone dropped down on long. So that's why they dogpile it with all 3 players. And because each of those long players step up to their first frags, it's an easy closeout for the HypeX 2K.
Yeah, it was actually, well, it was a nice moment from Kerrigan, but literally just Kerrigan, who also tries to meet Rain up at the top of the board. 6-2 now. But, I mean, yeah, 3-player setup was real beautiful here from Apogee. They didn't have to worry about Cat too much. Pressure's on Apogee, 2-2 game.
I suppose you never know who's going to step up and thrive under the pressure, but I think yesterday's example with Prism just becoming a shell of his previous state in this tournament was a bad sign. He'll chase down the first cat kill. Kerrigan dead, and Brokey's able to trade that back at least. But Apogee clearly taking a more active stance in comparison to the round prior where they let the fight come to them on long. Very split defense this round. We've got FaZe 3 players out middle. Apogee sectioned off 2-2.
I like the way Rain has taken over tunnels on FaZe. I think he's been very active and really good at drawing out utility. Very comfortable spamming, almost never just sacks his life to put on some pressure. Jacob is the guy we've had conversations about before this tournament started. Oh, and he gets absolutely destroyed.
Sitting around waiting for that, but Brokey too quick with it. Flashbangs, make it a little uncomfortable there for Demho, and Frozen finds the second player in the site. And as alluded to, it's that sectioned off second half of Apogee. Just gonna scoop up some utility down in spawn and call it quits. So FaZe, good establishing fight on catwalk. I mean, it was taken by Apogee, you punish that, and then no activity beyond it for the defense. Lets FaZe just do as they please.
Yeah, we gotta see that Brokey shot. Wall bang to the head in window.
Jacob was sitting on the angle. He was holding for the fight, but it comes by way of Opper. So we've got Rain off to a strong start with his 7 kills, and now this round, a testament to Brokey being in the server as well. 2 clean shots, a critical trade frag up on catwalk, and then the entry that really unravels B-site.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see, you know, it's good to see Kerrigan getting kills and all that, but we'll have to keep going back to Rain and Brokey if they have impactful rounds like that. Then this will be the most... This will be the peak sort of FaZe can show us. Broky just holds too much power. He's carrying the ring. You know, I mean, he can use that for good or evil, but ultimately, he always puts himself in impactful positions, gets opportunities that FaZe need, has to capitalize on them. That's the difference for FaZe.
Rain survives the op shot. Hypex tries to dunk the nade on him. That won't work. Ouch. 40 damage off of the single B defender.
It's a nice little call out.
All the utility here has done good damage. You've not only hit the guy inside B site, then you also burn him out from behind the long doors and soften up the catwalk players too.
Yeah, let's watch for the rotation because now Apogee probably a little bit confused. It's a good staging here for FaZe. But an op over here.
It's the op that dropped Rain down to 20, but he's no longer alone. 2 players behind him, bomb included. Gonna try to walk out into the corner. Demo just repositioned here into the corner. And Elige doesn't get the trade instantly. Missed op shot from Hypex. You've got Broky now looking for him with that bomb on his back. Hypex, minimal cover. He's got the rotates coming in from mid, and Hypex still hangs on here with 10 HP. Pistols out for Broky, still yet to clear Hypex off site. Meanwhile, Frozen starts to get his kills, and so bomb site cleared out. You've got this last remaining member in Huffa floating around bottom mid. Frozen keeps him on his toes in that regard. It was a well-timed Frozen peek through the mid doors that killed 2 of the 3 rotators. And now Huffa's got a big 1v2. More damage onto Broky. He knows that Frozen would be towards tunnels, trying to get him out, trying to bait him into the swing, and he won't be able to do so. FaZe in a high-tension round. Hang on, keep 2 up, and the 5-1 lead established.
That's a very careful dance that Broky had to be able to win on the double stack. Hypex missed a couple opportunities. Demo got one, he got one in the end. And then the best thing about that was delaying for some time. But overall, it was a good split because they did a lot of damage in the early round. They pushed Apogee out of vision on Cat. And I think by the time they went over to B, that was a big surprise. Demo also catches the tag. Broky turns it into a frag on top of it.
Jumping out on middle, supported by Elige. And so FaZe feeling comfortable in this one, moving forward. Catwalk, next point of contact. You've got Huffa here with the Deagle, and he's also going to get dropped empty-handed. So unfortunately here for Apogee, the Deagles and the Scout don't do enough damage. And it's another one that's just going to continue to feed the beast that is FaZe Clan's confidence. A-site clear for the taking. They know it, and Demo going to remind them that the ability is there. Clean scout shot. Rain just responsible for locking him down in middle so that this 6th one's added to the scoreboard. How you feeling about FaZe 7 rounds in?
That's the 2 players that are normally really inconsistent or doing incredibly well. So these are the keys to victory. I think on all 3 maps as well, though, it'll be CT sides that are the most problematic. Especially for Rain and Broky, that's also a bridge we'll have to cross when we get there. If they need any.
It's never an easy feat to beat FaZe Clan as you are an up-and-coming roster like Apogee, just trying to gain experience. Every game has felt like the biggest one of their careers. And to do it for qualification to a playoff stage of an event is just a whole other beast. You know, you hope you get to catch FaZe on an off day because they have off days. That much we can't deny. And those off days becoming a little too frequent for their fans' likings. But Apogee have yet to get Jacob online. Huffa still sitting 1 kill. You know, they had that solid long hold when the players walked out from FaZe Clan and were looking the wrong direction. It was just really timed duels from Apogee. Each of those long players getting somebody with their head turned. But any time that FaZe Clan are currently looking your way, you're hitting the ground. We didn't get to see it on the replay, but that Frozen cutting off the rotate to the B site, that's what kept Apogee off their second. That was that X Factor moment he's offered. Half of his 4 kills.
FaZe have a ton of brand value, but as Kerrigan mentioned, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of a tournament win, which was Chengdu, the last time FaZe have lifted a trophy. That's why he put importance on the event, just said we just need trophies, period.
Progress is surely great with the new roster. Now do it with a 4v5. Make it 3. Huffa. Quick kill to Elige as he walks out trying to fall in Frozen's footsteps. Kerrigan dropping down. Hypex. Ooh, missed shot. Kerrigan's going to capitalize on this one. You've got Huffa pushed out into the doors. You've got a bomb still waiting tunnels. Rain out mid. This is individual moments coming out. It's a good amount of damage. They are thinking A-site for certain. And Kerrigan's going to continue to sell that snake oil. Brokey strikes from behind and plants that bomb to put Brokey into a 1v2 on site. Is to give FaZe another great chance.
Here we go. He knows where both CTs are. Brokey at big box finds the opportunity.
Huffa rotating over, caution to the wind, and Brokey finds the right timing to peek out. Now just demo and dead.
Easy.
It is Brokey again with a critical round, 3K and a 1v2 on it. FaZe Clan just keep on winning, this time from a 3v5.
Yep. Man, that was a real messy situation. Unfortunately, Hypex here. He saw Kerrigan, saw his shadow, had the chance to get the kill. Also, look how calm and composed Rain is when there's 3 players trying to scale on him outside of B. Politely dodges the flash, comes back into a spray, gets a kill and some damage. And all that to delay for Brokey.
Who doesn't miss a single bullet, who finds the timing on that frantic rotate through CT spawn. Now Brokey and Rain, top of the boards, 9 kills each. You know, it's a situation set up by Kerrigan. He goes soldier mode, dropping down into CT, frazzling that A defense, causing the B players to move over.
Yeah.
There's no denying Kerrigan has played an important role in some of these rounds already.
Yeah.
So stepping up when somebody has to, giving runway over to the others. Brokey back at it, punishing Prism on the mid push. Kerrigan once more just gonna go sprinting into the 1-tap.
Damn.
Sits Huffa down, and you've got now Apogee just cowering over towards that B site as FaZe remain untouchable.
That's a 4 save now. I mean, Hypex hit some really strong shots this game. He's still got over 100 ADR or something, but kills like that last one, the easy opportunities, you have to hit those too. Perfect start to the day here for FaZe. The two pieces that I'm, you know, in general, always feeling most confident about is Elige, because Elige on T side has been given a lot of his space that he wants, and Frozen in general has just managed to play his best CS in this new lineup overall. And they haven't even really been needed so far this game.
Whew. First shot so clean, he didn't even convince himself.
Yeah.
Couple others downrange just for good measure. Sometimes it'd be like that. Brokey back to the long play. Looking for the pick. As Huffa throws the flash out, blinds him. The op rings out and down to bottom mid goal FaZe again. We've seen a couple moments where Apogee try to prod at middle, whether that's from this cat stack or the mid doors as seen last round. You know, it doesn't feel to me like Apogee have shelled up yet in this match, despite the 8-1 lead.
Yeah, they're just missing a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, we don't have a good game from Jacob or Prism.
And I mean, in stark contrast to their last matchup when they just owned Astralis, like Jacob's time to kill, it was instant.
Yeah.
Those Mirage entries, milliseconds to the kills, it felt like. And that's just not an element of play Apogee have here in their hands so far. Best of 3 series.
Yeah, it's not their map pick, so...
Exactly. But I still would just hope for, you know, that flash of success. Somebody have a big round. Remind everybody watching that Apogee can contend because they have so far at the event.
But it is great to see FaZe winning like a 3v5 or the late round complicated situations where their experience should give them the edge over a team like Apogee. They are getting them confused.
Rain dodges flashes middle, but the crosshair's not where it needs to be. Prism here with a second kill. And now Hypex is off, should have another chance to strike a body off this. Prism in with a triple. These are the kinds of plays we've been waiting for Apogee. Big multi-kill moment out of Prism.
Oh, what a
Gets
find.
put down by Frozen, who's looking to go one better. But Hypex is here to hopefully solidify, unless Brokey can clutch up. No time, really. And Hypex, all right, a no-scope on the edge of the smoke.
Damn.
To post Apogee second. So there it is. That's the kind of round. A triple out of Prism. A double from Hypex to lock it in. A little sign of life here from Apogee at the tail end of the CT side.
Yeah, the scary part about Astralis in their match was just like, as a team, Apogee, they keep it pretty simple, but their aim was so much better on every single player than Astralis. And here we see in moments where there's just like a slight miss. Okay, Apogee are there. But waking up late, that's definitely a recipe for failure in a high-stakes game like this.
Lock in behind blue box. FaZe gonna try it again. If there's one part of the map that's been locked down every time, it's Apogee here towards long.
Yeah, no kidding. There's 3 on the lean. Sometimes you just want an easy round, like get out long control, then, you know, go from there. But Apogee have been really adamant about holding.
You think FaZe Clan want easy rounds?
Yeah, you know, if Kerrigan wants an easy round every once in a while, I think there is actually like a stamina that you have to call, where you got to balance out. You know, how many complicated rounds are you going to call in one game?
Yeah, maybe.
Can't we just get some entries here?
Save the cinema for the big stage.
Yeah.
Is it too much to ask for an easy day in the office? As far as Apogee are concerned, yeah. We hit 40 seconds as FaZe try to queue up another 3 versus 5.
They really want long, but they got to go pretty quickly now if they want this.
And the thing is, 35 seconds, you got 1 round after this left in the half. You got no money to play out.
Oh,
I feel like this is the one that suddenly just becomes uninspired and you save the majority. You kind of have to.
Yeah, they just lost. I mean, if there was a way to get back out long, but now they gotta run the length of a football field to get that bomb planted. So that, along with 3 targets on A. And as we can see, this is clearly the best idea. So a rare case, but FaZe will go for the prolonged save.
Boo.
Counter-terrorists win.
Long doors in their back pocket. That much can be said. See what the grand gesture is here to close out a T side. Like you said, their struggles have been on the defense for FaZe.
Yeah.
Struggles could still be there on the other side of this halftime. We don't know what awaits. But Apogee can say they've recovered the end of this one. Once you stop letting FaZe players clutch.
I think the biggest one still for me for FaZe are Anubis, Ancient, which is coming up next. Trying to think. Nuke, I guess. But yeah, like it's mostly inconsistent. It's not like they've never seen a good day. And today it's starting off right.
Again, huh? Brokey gonna keep the pressure up. He's had a great first half. He surpassed Rain. And now one of these 2 B players nice and softened up for potential rain entry. Won't come yet. And we do have some limitations, that's true. Pistols between Elige and Kerrigan. Hypex hears the pitter-patter of the footsteps, top middle, and peels it back slightly. We get this early B lane as Prism goes through the mid doors over towards that site, but there's no follow-through just yet from FaZe. Minute 15, plenty of time.
There's a left side lean now, so there's 3 inside of B, and they're kind of hoping it comes this way. I guess with long doors push, that helps them alleviate some pressure on A. But we move into territory where Apogee might want to make another move, either pushing into B or they're going to get a little bit concerned about what they can't see at the moment. Hypex is a stress point here, but we have no idea if FaZe are going to figure this out or if they're going to mid B.
So they'll put Prism locked in to the B site, freeze up Jacob to come down with nades, and then we see that util come over top at 35 seconds. Whole pack of players coming Jacob's way. Won't have time to drop that util. It's gun out, ready to go with Demo right behind him. Softened by the Opper, pistols first. The fact Kerrigan gets one makes the job easier for the others. Elige picking up that rifle. Now Prism gets his one. Brokey's gonna cover off on the rotator. Prism's gotta go big. And he unfortunately tracks the player in the middle of the pack. 5-7 shot may have been clean, but Brokey with another close at a 12-3 half. FaZe Clan take their time and get into another site hit. 9 rounds on a T side looks great for these guys.
Yeah, that's well done. I think it's a disappointing round for Apogee because they had the right setup. They got the payoff even though they didn't scout that much information, and it was a mid B. And I think the players in the site and outside the site were in the probably the prime positions to multi-frag, but only a kill or 2 between them. And they'll have to stare this cavernous lead in the face for FaZe. I think Yanko said 2 best pistoling teams here at the event. Apogee #1, FaZe #2.
Oh, it was FaZe to win first pistol and convert fully. It's wild in this one, Mohan, is Apogee win 3 rounds. Can you guess how many opening kills they had?
I'm going to assume it's higher than the amount of rounds they have.
It is 8 opening kills.
Wow. Yeah,
8 opening kills, and you end up with 3 round wins.
There was a couple of choke sprays in there.
Cheeky 3v5, little 1v2.
1v3.
Yeah. Tough pills to swallow if you're Apogee. You know there was definitely opportunity throughout that first half.
But it's true that 5v4 isn't everything, especially not versus a team like FaZe.
A FaZe Clan that goes down into the lower tunnels at the start of this. You're going to find long control for free here, Apogee. Bomb included. Elige peels back. Prism tries to make contact on B site. But as long as Kerrigan's inside that window, it's information gained. Rain clearing out the tunnels. Now the jig is up. You may have long, but you've got nothing else. So you better take it while you can. And we see that process speeding up now. Smoke for the cross is good as long as nobody gets chance spammed. Not the case. Now 3 sets of feet on site. Elige should stay alive. Hold on to some cat control for the rotate to come through, but Kerrigan actually overfaces from CT spawn as well, and
that'll be a real test.
Just a 1-man advantage with 14 health the difference.
They've got a long plat plants, a couple CTs coming up cat. It's a real split up situation though. They've got to win some individual duels here, FaZe.
It's another good gush. Long player takes damage. Catwalk guys get it going. So damage not enough. Elysian Rain still standing at the end of it, and FaZe Clan keeps second pistol as clean as necessary. That push up into the tunnels really calling out Apogee's fake execute into a site they had no intention of truly following through on. Bomb was already out through the doors by the time that utility hits the ground.
Sometimes historically when, Kerrigan does interviews like after the Rio exit where they lost to Bad News Eagles twice or whatever, he'd say like, I need my team to play better. But he in this game has hit some unreal shots, both here on this pistol and earlier in that first half. He's not shy to fully acknowledge, the amount of talent he's surrounded with and how his job, he feels, is to activate it. But when he can shoot like this, it makes it all the easier.
Happy trying to put the score line in the back of their heads at this point. It's a healthy looking force buy. It's a lot of rifles, and they're already starting to knock on the bomb site. Elige, oh, could not have been better. That is such a gut-wrenching feeling now if you're Apogee. On top of it, you're met by an incendiary, so you can't full swing. Your bomb just fell into the CT spawn, and Brokey's scout is on the hunt. Demo and Hypex bring this back. It's a 2 versus 4. There's still a lot of that utility damage out there on the field. Hypex chasing with the Galil. It gets away from him, and Kerrigan gets the better of that duel. So 1v2 goes Demo, but remember, bomb dropped.
Yeah, that was a good duel to take. It's not that secure for the CT side just because of the amount of time left over, so Kerrigan's going to peel back a little bit. And Demo's not going to waste any time himself.
Ooh, still hasn't grabbed it. Trying to fight for it. So worried that somebody else is going to peek him while Rain offers up the duel. At any moment, somebody from ramp behind box could be locked in on Goose.
It was really deep in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
it's down and around the boxes.
That was definitely his best chance to grab it.
At least he's cleared out sight from this point. Hasn't been hit from long, so I think you can read that this catwalk reposition makes sense. Now it's damn well confirmed, but it's just a matter of keeping him off bomb, and that's what these two FAMASes are doing. God, it's gonna have to come down to very instant kills like that. You know where Rain is at. Rain swings, and he's gonna take it on his terms to close out. FaZe almost offering Apogee a way back in.
Yeah, they were delaying for time. That duel eventually had to be taken because Kerrigan went for his fight a little bit early, but doesn't matter for them. They got house money to play with right now.
This nade.
Yeah, that nade was fantastic. Scout shot was great. And the point is, Apogee invested a lot here, so nothing to defend against map point here on Dust 2.
This is the kind of result that I think FaZe really wanted. Just a smothering of the lowest ranked team at the event. A reminder that there is a chasm between you and the top dogs, even if FaZe are no longer at the top of that special list of teams.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say that. It's just, yeah, it's like, when is it true? You know, there was a point where it was a playoffs minimum, and then it became, now they're not a playoffs minimum. And again, their last trophy being a year away. Can't say they're not hungry, that's for sure. One of the most exciting roster moves of the offseason, but definitely one of the roughest. Especially when you look at teams like Vitality just fly up instantly to top 1.
Early FaZe B lean inside of the site. All 3 players inside of the site. I mean, it could damn well be the last round we get out of Apogee on Dust 2. FaZe put the pieces in the right place. Elige gonna get hunted down by Prism. Rain returns with just the one. Now Frozen's SMG in the middle could go unnoticed, but that smoke is gonna tell you someone's close. So he announces it. He knows they're looking for him. FAMAS out middle is gonna try to jump on the chaos of it all, but it's still a 2 versus 4. 1 kill in for FaZe Clan.
With the way they're playing, maybe think about it. But the op and a scout for the retake, it's a challenge. It's a little bit too hard, I think.
I felt like FaZe were getting ready for that kind of follow-through. It's just the speed of it all, I suppose. Prism getting Elige not quite ready, as he had just dropped a smoke grenade in the door. He wanted an extra second to prepare, and it's a nice move from Prism to commit to it. Trade out instantly, but still, you've got your whole team still behind you. So Apogee show us a nice smooth follow-through on the B hit.
Though. Yeah, just never let him rest. But Uffa's ready. That's a 6th kill. Kerrigan will save this op for Brokey. He was allowed to go and try that. They want to keep their economy teetering, with every round potentially being their last. I think for Apogee this game, it's about getting some dignity rounds, and then if you get close, then thinking about the comeback. But for now, it's remembering you've got the rest of the series to play.
Still have to be a massive upset. FaZe haven't lost to a team ranked as low as Apogee in quite some time. Closest comparison would have been losing a best-of-3 to Sangal in their opening match of Pro League Season 20. That's back at the tail end of 2024. You know, the top teams beat FaZe. That's a common occurrence.
Yeah, like how many top team victories do they have?
And we have historic upsets. You alluded to it, the Bad News Eagles in Rio, obviously at a major, so it hurt that extra bit more. But this would have to be something spectacular from Apogee. Not that they can't do it, but it doesn't seem possible here on Dust 2. Not with the slow start that some of their individuals had. Not with the clutches that they went the way of FaZe. Man, advantage to try to close out here in the 17th. To not let this get...
I'm just waiting for the Gervin guarantee before I get excited about this comeback.
No. That's the whole thing here. FaZe, listen, they give us some exhilarating late game moments, but this one, surely not today. ...
Okay, 3 in the B site. They're not outside the site, so it can get a little bit cramped. This is where they were last time, but okay, Brokey's first shot.
Ooh, Frozen drops with nothing. You've still got Brokey back sight, no scope. Brokey under pressure, they still managed to get through. It's the rifle players that kind of dropped the ball, not being able to stop this. It's a close enough hold to allow for the retake attempt, surely. You put Frozen along the car instead of a leash, frees him up now for the retake. Oh, flash is perfect here from Kerrigan. Jacob gonna have to show us what she's made of. Third kill and fourth. Ooh. That is the Jacob that stepped forward versus Astralis and the other competition. That is the multi-kill we've been waiting for from this promising player. Now, the 5th round for Apogee comes with it.
Finally, a clutch for Apogee, which is good to see. This setup in the sites, it's the second time they've had 3 in here, and I really just think he gets a little claustrophobic. Even though Apogee lost that last round of the first half, I think that setup is much better for dealing with the mid-Bs, where you can still be actively defending the B site, but you're not overcrowding it, and you're getting info really early with your players who are outside the site. I think using everyone the best, but they didn't hit shots that time around. It's another 3B setup here, this time with pistols.
Pistol dinks early. Oh, a little team damage in the middle. No. You've got Hypex, pistol out, it's even grounds. He's taking nades out, he's gonna get swarmed, surrounded, and it's done. Just like that. Some FaZe shenanigans just like that.
They dress to impress. But when they played against FaZe on Dust 2, there were some damning stats, like the amount of opening kills they got versus conversions, and only picking up one of those clutches. So, no excuses here, Apogee. We've seen your Ancient before.
Got to get back into the highlight reel mode that Jacob was able to offer, that Prism started this event with. He is the engine of their belief in the run in Bucharest. That's how it all started, but that smoke grenade's going to stop them in their tracks, and they'll head elsewhere. Don't want to just be sitting inside A main with no map control. Odds are FaZe are making moves, and we see it here with Kerrigan's dualies on lane. He'll lock into pocket. We'll get this creepy walkout from Apogee. It's Brokey and Rain, 2 players that we said had to step up and did. Back on Dust 2. Here comes the pack. 1 player peeled off of it. Nice shot from Demo. Still, defenders in the bomb site. And Elige a little labored, but he gets there. All in from one direction. Donut stuffed. Rain and Frozen make it look way too easy. And now Prism surrounded at 50 seconds. Not unwinnable. If you can kill Kerrigan here, it opens up possibilities, but those Berettas ready to go, and FaZe 3 for 3 in the pistols.
Some lovely shots this game out of Kerrigan, and yeah, 3 for 3 out of pistols is also off-trend for Apogee. Pressure matters, folks. And this team were, before this match, the best pistoling team, but who better to lose to than the second best pistoling team at the event? That only proves who was the actual greatest this entire time. Rain with another 2, and his impact on the pistols was felt as well back on Dust 2. Playing from the back foot. It's not a comfort zone here for Apogee. No plant to speak of as well. No money, no power.
Who threw that? SMG stacking up on each other, and it's all good. Money made here for FaZe Clan 2-0 as the conversion comes out. I've got a question for you, Mo, before the game really gets going.
I'm ready.
FaZe Clan have lulled us into this idea that they're no longer top dogs and, you know, that they're no longer going to be able to compete with the better teams. But have you seen enough progress in FaZe to believe that it could just click spontaneously? Like this could be a top 4 event or a grand finals even?
I can't say that I have. I think the final straw was losing to complexity.
Sure.
So I don't know. I think it was holding out for a while, but with how successful some of the other ones, moves have been, I was like, okay. But even hearing it from Kerrigan's mouth, that he's just like, I don't even think we are aiming for the trophy anymore. I'm not sure if I can be super confident, but it all comes with victories. That solves all your problems, and there is a great spray down. However, answered back.
Brokey and Donut cuts off one player from that end of this bomb site split. And so nice opening man advantage established on the mid kill. A crunch into A main that costs 2 additional bodies for FaZe, and guns make a hell of a difference here for Apogee. Round 3 theirs off of a bye.
It's nice. I mean, another keep it simple round where they just play great positions to trade and put a lot of pressure on FaZe, who are coming into it sort of as a bonus. Minimal losses for them, so not the end of the world, but an important duel to win. But yeah, I mean, it's sort of like there's no sense predicting how good or bad that they'll become because FaZe are, well, they're always going to be tier 1, and their inconsistency, even after they won their major, was there for months and months on end before they got good again. They're probably the hardest team to sort of precipitate in terms of form. Yeah.
Well, not being pinned down right now because they keep signing up for these fights comes at a cost. We've got action across the map. We've got a duel here versus a pistol, and Kerrigan able to just snip Huffa's head off at the tail end of that duel. I mean,
that's quite a find.
Talk about chaos.
I was going to hear the scramble back to A, but it's only one player.
And Kerrigan comes in to spot Demho, who is very close to being toppled. 8 points of health, starts to drop utility here, serving up a distraction, and also disengaging. Rain's going to have to remain worried about the CT spawn for a second.
Hypex needed to walk.
We saw that shadow, so both players know about one another. That means Rain can just wait for him to step into the duel. Rain seems ready for this. If you want it, come get it. And the A4 in with a bit of damage, much more than a bit, in fact. 13 health left on what remains here for Apogee. That fire is going to force him into the fight. Bomb drop, and the SMG delivers. That is a Kerrigan multi-kill. 3 frags on the round. That USP into the close for FaZe Clan's bounce back instantly.
Yeah, man, again, another great kill from Kerrigan. And with the USP of all guns in a position where would have been man advantage flipped on its head. They knew in that pushing situation too. One player planting the bomb, they were both low. I think that was understood and corroborated. So they can't capitalize on a second round in a row here, Apogee.
Pretty macho start to this half. A lot of posturing going on, a lot of early fights, a bit of ego in some of these early duels. Frozen utility in hand. Takes a step back as these pistols group up inside of A main. He'll lean into this long distance. And a frag grenade in the back of the pack softens him up for him and Elige to just churn through with another USP kill coming out of FaZe Clan. Jacob's got the bomb in that Desert Eagle. Tech9 reopens the possibility of the B site. You've got ample time to do this.
Yeah, I said round's not over. Prism has to take the lead, though, because they need to go secure some space while there's still a moment. The MP9 will do it. Pushes Kerrigan back a bit.
Bomb's
no utility is the hardest part about this. One short smoke and they could put pressure on long, one long smoke and they could double swing, but
still cautious about the rock back. Kerrigan leans further into the depths of sight, so offering a bomb plant perhaps in a second. Kerrigan confirms they're still nearby, and that's going to be now support here by Brokey. So both players confirmed. Elige starts to run that flank. planter dies instantly here to Kerrigan, making up for a few missed shot on Prism earlier on. It's money in their back pockets. A Hail Mary of a 1v3 here by Prism. Sprints out of the corner, but those players on site serve up the perfect distraction, and FaZe keep majority alive.
Kerrigan's HSP has been really high. It feels like lovely shooting from him. Just patient enough right there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's full control.
Him and Rain really kind of gave the runway to Brokey back on Dust 2, right? Early success, and then the op takes over. Just doing it once more here on the B site.
Faux take of middle. They're just trying to draw the distraction. Oh, Prism running in through the smoke. And
Player down! Oh, Liege! That is good as need be.
How?
Snap up top.
What kind of aim training prepares you for that?
I don't know.
He just put his gun behind his shoulder and just started shooting. That was unbelievable.
That was like a serpent twist. Shuts down the guy above. Huffa, pressure on him. We've got a layered ramp hold, and the trades come out. Brokey, both kills to his name. Demo, 52 health, steps forward into Kerrigan, bests him in the head-to-head, and he's got 2 more players to drop with a low HP Frozen, but that bomb damn near irretrievable. It's a long journey to get over there, and at the moment, his fallback is getting pinched. Lane player to make that first swing by the looks of it. Nah, not even. He just buys his time, lets Frozen take it, and FaZe to the 5-1 lead.
I've seen enough, Connor. FaZe are back.
Yeah.
that was
woohoo.
Actually unbelievable out of a Liege. You know, felt like it's just a guaranteed position here for Prism, and I think he could have even prevented this first kill if he actually peeked out a little farther. He didn't realize that Liege was the one who was scared for a moment after he ran out above him.
Just enough utility to blanket this bomb site to try to get the bomb down. If it comes with kills, then great, but it is majority here for FaZe staying on beat and tenderizing their meat before it comes through with the commitment, but here it'll be in a second. There go the smokes. Molly for back site. Even better, cave entrance. That's Kerrigan a little off kilter. Still though, counter flashes come through, stalls out Hypex's entry attempt, and smoke spams bursting forward from the rifles, but Damo now on the plant. Oh, and they do get Kerrigan, able to just pounce on him from inside cave. That's 4 players here in cave for Apogee with bomb down. And Brokey gets tagged up incredibly low, so this isn't feeling the most comfortable of situations for FaZe. A little more damage looks good, but here comes the Liege on the retake. Frozen connects his, and it's suddenly 4 versus 2 for FaZe. Another dink comes out. 3 of these bars low, but those pistols just betray Apogee, and the damage is not enough.
And there was such a good read of the play here from Liege, peeling back all the way into mid, understanding Apogee. We're going to get stressed and look for a way out. Through the back door, out of cave. And he has the perfect angle just to be effective, but without pushing too fast. Leaving Apogee trapped. That's a situation that could have got out of hand, especially with the kill and the bomb plant and almost no damage from FaZe on their way in. I mean, the good part for FaZe, if they win this match, is getting into playoffs. I guess the other good part is like, okay, this is the form that we're looking for on the right players and everything. The problem is the tests, of course, that they passed. Apogee have taken down MongolZ and Astralis. Was it MongolZ and Astralis? That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then it's FaZe to take out Rare Adam, Payne on the way here.
Yeah, I mean...
So still relatively untested, right? They lost to Astralis. They lost to Complexity just yesterday.
It's a situation where we'll be excited that FaZe can show a better form, but if I told you their run to playoffs is Pain, Rare Adam, and Apogee, you shouldn't be impressed. We have higher expectations for a FaZe Clan. Trying to step up to this one, off-man disadvantage. Elise floating bottom middle, found out by Demo, who doubles down and gets the 4v2 back in the hands of Apogee. And maybe if you've watched Apogee's matchups and you consider who they've beat, then FaZe beating them can still be somewhat impressive, but obviously it's just not comparable to the peaks of FaZe we once knew. That will not be upended without a deep playoff run. And that is what everybody watches FaZe Clan for.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the bar is not winning this event, I actually don't think anybody called FaZe a favorite coming into the event.
Not one that I know of.
Not with Aurora here. Not with the Mongols here.
You know, it's just become this thing where FaZe have established such a reputation that we almost take their playoff berths for granted. And if you were to ask me how many events they've actually missed out on playoffs now, I've kind of just lost track, but you just never stop believing that it will happen. I don't know if I'm a sucker or if I'm in the, you know, if I'm in the pack with everybody else. I don't know what it would really take for me to truly stop believing in a FaZe Clan. Maybe I'm just a romantic.
No, I mean, they have taken out, they beat MongolZ at Cluj. They beat, it's kind of like what Dust said about Virtus.pro, that like Sam asked, why is it so hard to watch these teams? It's because you know that they can be so much better. And they show you that once in a while. Like if you see Virtus.pro this year, they have some great wins, but then you see them miss all their utility in the last two series and you go, well, why are you going backwards? That's the question. So, but FaZe in terms of like top 5 victories, they beat Eternal Fire this year. They beat MongolZ recently at Cluj as well. They beat G2 at Katowice. So they aren't winning consistently, 2 or 3 series in a tournament versus top 5 teams. But they're still alive. They are not. Guys, they're not breathing through a tube yet.
Guys, they're still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, you've made me feel so much better, Mohan.
Yeah.
They're still alive.
In the way that a neutrino has the potential to become a star,
Okay. Settle down, Stephen Hawkins. I'm still alive. Into the B site quick. And the op missing shots. Come on, Brokey. Give it a chance with that flashbang. But he just sits in the corner. He's content to wait this out. They may be on the site, but they know it's not comfortable. Apogee reel away. They find the A site, though, vacant in the meantime.
They're taking a long time to get back over here. Demo's position by the time that this whole situation is distilled will not be as valuable as it was at the minute mark here as he sits at Brokey waiting. I mean, they're going to know someone's pushed something, so.
Just so worried about that mid presence that could have been, but isn't. Both FaZe and Apogee a little concerned about what could going down. Oh, Alish clearing the corner as Demo decides to jump up, so he finds good timing.
Yeah, because his teammates are right there ready to go. He has to make sure that they can't get peeked from Temple, so really good play here from Demo.
Frozen tries to get in on the action. We hit 30 seconds. Limited utility for the T's. No smoke for Donut, but they find just an edge on that bomb site to put it down. And Demo's cover ends up being key. Smoke comes out now for Frozen to block him off from this. We've got Prism behind the big box. The other two deep on A main. Prism could be the first point of contact, and he will be as he shuts Frozen off the site. We get this swing out from Rain. Double kill from Prism. And this is starting to look much better. Already on the retreat, our FaZe Clan. That deep positioning from Demo pays off.
It's not as easy as it looked, with the amount of time that he had to wait and figure out how to still be effective, but he picks the perfect time to prod, and he finds Alish as his team is coming out towards A, and it's a site that people are happy to vacate very often. So it's good for Apogee to find the punish. This half is actually still recoverable. So FaZe can't be too careful. Apogee were quite comfortable fighting mid versus Astralis. And I think because of their aimers and how scrappy like the meta of mid is right now, I think they should go ahead and try it. Obviously, they did once versus a Liege. That didn't end up too well, but they obviously have to believe in their set plays, their flashes, which are the most important part of those takes. Any mid presence this time around for FaZe. Bombs drop back in this default. Oh, missed opportunity here on the boost.
And both teams decide to go for the op boost on B site. They rattle their sabers and walk it away. Where can Brokey get off to? Frozen eats that flash. Great flashbang from Jacob. Makes Demo's job so easy. Even took his time to clear it out and still had Frozen blinds. Of course, it's the two saved guns in Brokey and Kerrigan. That's what could make the difference, and the op will strike one down. Forfeits the position, and now it looks like that M4 is looking to go down ramp instead, but you've got Hypex playing it patiently. He hits his shot, but Kerrigan survives. And so the M4 is given an opportunity to move, change positions. Rain keeping his head tucked. We saw Demo get out deep last round, and we saw what that had in terms of an effect.
Oh, he didn't see him.
Just got spotted.
Oh, Rain doesn't know? Wait, okay, wait, what?
Maybe they saw each other and he prepares for the jump up.
Maybe Rain thought he saw something without, yeah, that knowledge and was ready for the scale. Nice spray down here for Brokey. 3-on-3 keeps us alive, but look at the HP bars here for FaZe.
Desperate, they seem. Brokey on arrival, Demo on the platform, ready for that temple peek. Just want to get active though. Again, you know, you've got these two rifles to save, and that's exactly what's happening. Disengaging from this one, so Apogee certainly making something of this half now. Racking up another.
They're using Demo like a, you know, like he's in a relay race with the baton, just catching up to him as he gets out. A really good chance is found in these last two rounds from him. And they'll only need one more really strong idea to make this ugly for FaZe.
It's a weird interaction for Rain this round.
Yeah, I'm going to guess he saw him looking to the side.
Yeah.
And just assumed he didn't get the info back. But was he walking up just staring at him?
Yeah.
He was?
Well, we praised Rain for a strong start back on Dust 2. And the consistency, or lack thereof, shows itself here. Now we're gonna go fast into the B site. Apogee straight charging in.
Oh.
Brokey finds his from the back line. And Kerrigan off of the pillar shuts down this hit with ease. Kerrigan and Rain supported by the Opper. Not gonna be that easy, Apogee.
Such a nice setup. I mean, the op 3B, they throw the molly. It's almost like, come through the molly, please. You see how little effect that has on slowing the attack down. But because the op's there, they're almost encouraging it.
And Brokey, who just hasn't seen the most amount of action, more saves than anything else, still sitting on 2 deaths. You come at him, he'll put you down. Nothing saved here. Apogee's 11th goes the way of FaZe. Trying to keep it simple, trying to keep it quick. You know, you can celebrate a varied attack. Try something new here towards the tail end, but FaZe Clan happy and ready for that kind of a
even
play.
my guard was down. Like when this play happened and you saw how far up they got without losing any HP, I was looking at 2 CTs behind default and thinking, oh no, like they're totally unprepared for this. They're over-trusting this one tiny incendiary from the CT side. But no, Brokey was right there on short. And it's honestly rare that you see teams reinforce like that. Very good call and read out of FaZe.
Oh, he's coming back over.
Brokey not short side this time. Yeah, their guard might be down again.
Rain eats the flashes, doesn't have Kerrigan on site. Brokey still yet to peel a player off, but here comes the cross. Oh, Jacob going down means Rain's still gone unnoticed. Death surround him, and we've got that off back on ramp, so it's a flurry of kills out of Apogee. For a second, it looked like Rain was gonna get the element of surprise, but by the time he fights, his teammates died right a second beforehand. And so final round of the half will be a frozen clutch attempt, 1v3. Everybody on site for Apogee. No idea as to which direction Frozen comes in from. And so they'll all remain on different angles for the time being. He's got utility to block off Cave. It's gonna start with the duel versus Huffa. There's that good contact. Most of Frozen dead already. Op shot missed, but so be it. It's a close here for Apogee, a 5-round T side. Not half bad.
Especially considering it's a recovery. It was a little messy. It was not a great start like Dust 2 was, and they're still down 3 pistols in the series. So there are some foreboding signs for sure for Apogee, but they recovered this half. That's a nice thing to see.
It's also a good sign for a FaZe Clan to get CT rounds as they have.
That's true too. Yeah, that's the big question on some of these maps. Kerrigan playing Cave, Rain playing in the B site, but they had Brokey supporting in all the right positions, and I think Apogee, you know, yeah, their big wins were when they got out into the A site late into the round, which is again also good to see, like mid to late round situations going their way, flexing some of their ancient comfort they've shown versus some lesser teams.
Yeah, Demo's decision-making and kind of lurk style that happened throughout that T side was definitely a key to the success of Apogee. So nice to see him step it up a notch. He created the moments for the others to step forth into. And here we go.
Jacob died every single round that half, and also...
Hell yeah. A soldier.
Hey, he played every round.
Compare that to Brokey's 3.
Yeah.
There we go. 3 for 3 in the pistols. Kerrigan getting caught by a bit of A main pressure, so Apogee happy to sign up for a bit of a duel on their terms. They'll lose information in middle, and Elige skates towards Donut. Rain doing his own thing here on ramp. Oh, flash wasn't the best, but that's fine. Huffa quick to the kill.
That's a pretty great reaction. No Cave, no window here for the CT side, so even though they've got 5 up, there are some pretty big gaps. This will slow their movement a bit as Jacob starts to come back to window.
Prism in the corner, down at the hands of Elige as Hypex kind of gets pushed back off Temple. And Elige playing with him. Silent bullet sneaks through the Temple exit. Oh, okay, Hypex wastes no time with that one. Opens up the door for the others. Another headshot from Hypex. Jacob just as clean, and that is what you're looking for. Yeah. Triple out of Hypex, seizing the pistol, the first of Apogee's series, and it's certainly when they need it.
That's their best performer ADR-wise from Dust 2. Hypex stamping his name on this round, and a first pistol. I wonder what that means here for the course of this map. Surgical shots. Wow, what was that?
Oh, the Brokey kill is nasty.
Yeah. Always leave it to your opera. They got to fall back on pistols the most.
FaZe just go up in a whiff of smoke.
In a huffa of smoke. Maybe finally use that name for something. Huffa.
Frozen, ready for the back 8 contact. Very light on the buy this time, FaZe. Apogee showed that they were willing to take a stand with that forward A play in the pistol, and so maybe FaZe bank on it happening again. And we saw Apogee literally lose to less back on Dust 2. Final round of the game was one like this, but this one's gonna get mopped up for the most part. Elige able to connect to the head of Hypex, make him pay the cost. Elige back with a second Desert Eagle kill. Not half bad from the North American, but it is a tied game now, folks, and considering FaZe kicked this off with a strong 6-1 lead. Look where we've ended up.
Yeah, man, that's some good pullback here, but pistols help out a ton. We're going to find out about what FaZe can bring to this T side right here and now. Even on that round, they put themselves in a spot where one player goes down and FaZe can make a lot of traction, get to a site really quickly. You want to make sure that Apogee aren't too timid on the CT side. And just continue to play good CS. I mean, you can play passive spots and hold angles, that's fine, but FaZe will use your lack of information against you if you do that too often. Can't let everything rest on your 1 or 2 individual fights. They only seem vaguely aware of this boost right now. You can tell that Jacob desperately wants to get back into this game. His teammate's buying him some time. I mean, him and Prism for that matter, right? If you take a snapshot of right now, are Apogee going to win without those 2 players? I don't think so.
Okay. Rain's given a gift. Poor Prism puts his head on a silver platter, gets popped. And that's going to kind of force Huffa to move forward instead.
Blank's being watched by Elige. For how long?
Whoa, just missed the timing. Elige isn't able to react. That pack of players nearly lines up for Huffa. And the cave connection from Kerrigan comes out. Man advantage off the back of it. Bomb plant should be guaranteed. You've got Demo still held back by Kerrigan. We've got a battle going down in cave, and it ends up the way of Apogee. And the fact he takes no damage so far, besting Elige and Kerrigan and sitting on 100 health, but Rain's gonna catch him with a nade in hand. That wrap back from ramp to just secure cave control in the post plant puts Jacob in a tough position. He's got a kit in front of him. Smoke to work with. Rough series for Jacob so far. And he's gonna try to cause panic here for FaZe Clan, but doesn't put the smoke down first. Won't get a chance to keep his hands on the bomb. FaZe right back to the lead.
Yeah, that's right. They're balled up, ready to attack the site, and I think just a touch too reactive, once again, in the positions for Apogee, where single point of failure right here. I mean, it's a great shot from Rain, but you can see how much space FaZe know that they can grab after this. I think the positions become a little bit too telegraphed here for FaZe. They realize there's a lot of respect coming in across the board. And if it's only going to be jiggle spots here as the final defense against FaZe, well, they're not going to have much of a CT side to speak of. I think the one thing Apogee don't want to do is leave this tournament thinking that they were scared of a team like FaZe. They just got to look back on the rounds they played well and simply try to replicate those. Don't focus on anything else.
Certainly shook off the nerves after their first match loss to FURIA. FURIA's only win at this event was over top of an Apogee that we then saw power up in their following 2 games.
Yeah, they had that early wake-up call.
Brazilians shook them awake. MongolZ and Astralis pay the price. An Astralis that has since been eliminated, and a MongolZ whose future at this event is not guaranteed. FaZe will find no contest here in the 16th round, so it's not just the 8th, but the 9th round win that comes with it. And a USP pistol stack gamble that just unfortunately comes up empty. Kerrigan's looking to make cash here. Mac 10 versus 5 unarmored schmucks.
That's a bit of dough collected. A couple others though. A couple of good USP shots. Broke
Nice.
showing us how it's done.
Very nice.
Black Blau.
Proki hasn't been a part of every round this game, but has certainly kept himself alive for the attempts. There's a few saves that he just arrives to the A site a bit too late. You know, he's trying to tap back into the potential he showed us on Dust 2. Rain has actually gotten back into the mix since I kind of threw him under the bus, highlighting his inconsistencies.
Oh, okay. I thought you were very fair about it, actually.
Well, thank you. I thought so too. I try to be. Ooh, good flash. Spray's not great from Elige, but he's got the support of Kerrigan, and Hypex's escape is barely able to come through. 4 health as he hides into the corners of Donut. Nade's got his name on it, but it goes too far. And now he's kind of...
What a spot here for Hypex in between two smokes, phasing into his own CT smoke.
Ooh, the push out from the cave. There's still a chance at this pitch, but Kerrigan
what a move,
gets that last bullet into Huffa, and Hypex is now just running for that back line of B. Brokey and Rain to double up, and unfortunately Hypex trying to make something happen there in the smoke. What looked like he was waiting for the cave push to come through to come out.
He actually, yeah, he walked through that snake of smokes all the way up the stairs, got the trade. But to be honest, right now, Hypex feels like the only reliable player here besides Demo on Apogee. That was a good move to win back mid-control, but with those first 2 kills going properly the way of FaZe, it was just an honest day's work here. Good flashes. Elige gets his first after a strugglesome spray, but there are so many flashbangs going both ways. They got fought exactly where they were looking for when Apogee, but they allow FaZe to get 10 on this map. CT side is normally their strong suit.
Fortunately for Apogee, in their 2 big wins, you had a life game so far out of Jacob for the first upset, from Prism for Astralis's victory, and we have not gotten either of those players kind of into their groove in the final hurdle that is FaZe between them and playoffs. Bit of inconsistency across the board from the Apogee players, trying to make a name for themselves on the international stage like never before. It's what your dreams are made of, but it's also crushing when you just can't collect. USPs into the cave denied. They're gonna bait them all the way in. That rifle was meant to get into the engagement with something. And unfortunately for Apogee, the M4 finds nothing. It is FaZe Clan 11-7 on the second map of this series.
There are some wins you don't pop off versus, but you know that FaZe are going to get real excited for this. Just playoffs right there after, you know, having 2 pretty bad losses at this event, not winning that revenge match for Elige over Complexity, only being able to take down Pain with a stand-in and Rare Adam. This will still mean a lot. Apogee have to assume there's still time to recover this.
Like you said, Apogee don't want to go home thinking that they've played scared. So back to the gun round, back to the more aggressive play, down the ramp, establishing map control and a man advantage.
Yeah, the best time to get info is early, right? This is where you can take B lane control the easiest. This is where you can try to grab mid if it's not going to be played here from FaZe. And this is what was missing from the rest of the half from Apogee.
peels away. He's got his incendiary in hand right now. They're going to burst through that door while he has his nade ready. It goes down, but they're going to go through. Up and over. Huffa regains vision. Oh, yeah!
Oh, no kidding.
Triple kill from Huffa. There's his individual moment. There's the sight hold that keeps Apogee in this game.
He actually threw that molly way too far. Definitely got into a dangerous spot, but the aim took over. That was a wonderful display of mechanics out of Huffa. Huff and a puff, you know what I mean?
Oh. He was holding his breath as they came running up that ramp, but great rifle work. Keeps Apogee within touching distance. And it keeps FaZe off of that all-important 12th round. Lines up Rain. But again, you know, going in swinging. If you're going to go home, then go down swinging. And we saw it out of the gate there once they had their guns back in hand, that lane control they established, and falling back at the right moment, right? In anticipation of FaZe Clan bursting through. Uh-oh.
You're saying nice things about them?
And a missed smoke out of spawn here for Apogee. Not ideal.
Not cool.
But it doesn't look like it'll cost them the world.
I wonder if that, like, extinguishes... I'm going to say that's on purpose, but...
There's a molly. Oh, it does.
It extinguishes the molly, and then you can stand in front of it.
But they don't put anybody there? Maybe just to...
But, like, if they
just
did...
in case?
Yeah, it's preemptive.
Oh, I take back all the bad things I said.
So you have to go and clear out the cutout anyways.
Excuse me, it's me, the fool. Nobody behind it, but we'll see if FaZe are still worried about the cutout because of the smoke. Trying to dismantle this cave control. Rain gets the duel to Huffa. From hero to 0 kills. And Frozen able to just keep an eye on the flank as Jacob starts to sniff out what's going on through middle. Prism working with half health. Certainly not ideal. Starting to feel the squeeze here. Apogee looking to make a move down mid to set up the climb up. Prism gets a better chance because the fire doesn't land on him. But there's the double back. Frozen gets the kill towards middle. We get this scramble out of Demo. He's got all the nades in the world, but he can't throw them. He swings in instead, drops Kerrigan first. Can he hold it on his own? Frozen coming at him, hits the dink, now 1 HP, and he still hangs on!
Somehow!
Tries to go to Brokey, doesn't get that one, but it queues up Hypex, who misses his chance!
That was it.
And there's FaZe's 12.
Yeah, they grab it back. Oh man, Demo tried so hard. It's actually a miracle that he even got that second kill in position at the right time. Tough moment for Hypex. And also he drops out of Brokey. It's possible inaccuracy got the better of that shot. FaZe just ready for it at every single turn. The sun might be setting on Apogee's chances of taking this to another map. But they've at least got utility. They've only had to make a main concession here with Prism's MP9. They've got bigger concerns, though, on the trade fragging. We're oftentimes looking at the heroes of these rounds, but having trouble doing this all together.
Valiant effort from Demo,
Yeah.
no doubt. But that missed op shot that could have made the difference. He holds it.
Yeah, he knows with one comes two.
Slight limitations here for Apogee in the 21st. Prism wants back into that forward cave corner. We've seen him killed here empty-handed, as he and Jacob have both had a rough go of it on this map in this series. Bullets whiz by Elige. Just looking to find footing here for middle for FaZe.
Gun spotted, maybe?
Doesn't look it. Both players making sound. Elige is on high alert, sees the shadow. Easy setup for Elige. No second, and it comes with the demo frag too, so good push from Apogee into middle.
Yeah, a bit of a trapwire there as they come out of Donut.
Could be a FaZe Clan to try to vacuum up some space on the B site. Missed op shot from Brokey, who does carry bomb for the moment. Frag grenade goes deep down the line. Oh,
what
frozen.
a shot.
Walks out middle, hits the headshot. Hypex thinking about pushing this smoke, opts not to. Kerrigan tries to maybe sign up for the same play, but the other direction. And Hypex remains aware of that threat. Here's that contact. Huffa dead with nothing. Hypex draws back one. You've got Frozen to come and bolster bomb. They know that there's another one back on this line. That's Hypex in the background. And with 25 seconds on this clock, it is a long road for Demo to come over for what will be a much-needed retake.
Man, they're
Tournament
peeling
life
back.
on the line.
They're peeling back out of this. They're worried about everything at the moment. They need to focus on B. FaZe are going to get to much better spots. This smoke comes up. No one's playing from default. FaZe are playing for the win here. Boosted up as well.
No utility for the retake, no kit for the defuse. This one's gonna have to be slick. Excuse me, there's the flash thrown forward. All they had. It at least gets Brokey to dismantle the boost. He tries to find the contact site. We get the demo push towards Cave. Pieces being put together, but the time is what's gonna decide this. Demo has to stick, and the frozen peak doesn't come through. Just enough to get him off. Just enough to push forth into playoffs. FaZe